within our Hub Summit. This next person that we have up to date, another practitioner that I love dearly. This is one of my other dear friends that I met on TikTok. TikTok is a wonderful place to meet people. I'm trying to tell you, if you don't know, you know now. But Miss Rosa, Rosa is our soul regressionist. You can find her inside of Soul Tribe, and she has helped me through understanding soul and how your soul works. We do a lot of wonderful things together through dream interpretations, in a sense, vision interpretations when she does her meditations. She is my meditation go-to person, soul regression go-to person, and all the other things that I can probably think of to have her do. Like, Russell, what do you think about this? We connect on so many levels. I would love to introduce you guys to Miss Rosa from Oasis Regressionist. Yes, I speak Spanish too. It runs in our family, but I'm a little bit Spanish. And in other words, Oasis Regressions, and she is our sole regressionist in our community. Welcome in, Rosa. How are you, boo?
Thank you, thank you. I am doing great and it's so nice to be here, estar aquí contigo. Me alegra mucho verte. I'm so happy to see you. It's been a few months since we've connected, so it's really nice to see your smile again.
Same. So we had to take a hiatus in the summer months because we was getting it in. We was on here every Saturday trying to get y'all to know her, get y'all to know me. We was on YouTube, TikTok, doing soul aggressions, the whole nine live sessions.
Yes, yes. We got. I have to admit, I got a little burned out, and I'm sure you just kept going and going, going yourself. So we needed a little break. I'm glad that we gave that time to ourselves.
Cause we was hoping. We wanted you guys to know who we were. We wanted you guys, and it was also giving her more practice as well, right? Because this is the first time that she's come out on social media to let everybody know this is what I do, y'all. This is what I do. And so we were trying to get her to the point where she's completely comfortable, and I believe that she is now because she's making headway. So make
Yeah,
sure you connect
much
with
more
her.
comfortable. Definitely much more
Right.
comfortable now.
Yeah, and we don't have to worry about being stressed out. We got a whole new strategy, and the strategy is to visit us, primarily Miss Rosa, and you're gonna get a chance to get to know her in just a second. Visit us inside of the Soul Tribe. Now, we're gonna get started on that, not just quite yet, but we're gonna get a little bit deeper when it comes down to Miss Rosa. Rosa, what got you started as a soul regressionist? How did you come to be?
I, I love the idea of going deeper beyond what we've learned in school and beyond what we've learned in the medical field and beyond what is taught to us in the Bible and in religious organizations. I always feel there was something more and I just wanted to dive deeper. So as I read a few books, I read a few books that really sparked my interest, and I wanted to learn more about it. And then eventually, I was like, well, I think I would like to practice. I would like to try to do this and see if I can do this for myself and for others, so that maybe it can be part of everyone's awakening if they're interested in something like that, or at least curious. But that's just something that I enjoy. It's more like a hobby than anything, than a full-time job, quite honestly. It's just something that I just enjoy doing.
And we all about turning passion into profit, baby. Passion, it's profit. Let's go. Now I say that, and she be like, "No, I just enjoy doing it. It's just fun." And I'm like, "Mm-hmm."
Definitely something that speaks to my soul. I always like to go deeper than the surface level, and I think this is something that helps me to get there. And as I've learned more, I've discovered that this is just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more to know beyond experiencing and remembering a past life. There is so much more that we can learn by connecting not only to our own soul, but to the souls of other things that are all around us. And it's just amazing.
So let me share with you guys this real quick. And I say this all the time on my platform. So if you know, you know. But for those who don't, I did a soul, we talk about this often. I did a past life regression before I met Rosa. And I didn't remember it until after I met Rosa. I was like, wait a minute. I remember when my soul was a white man named John who was a British coat soldier. And I told her that I shared the story many, many times. And if you want to learn more about that story, just go ahead and hit that subscription button so you can get to know the story of the soul, the soul person I used to be. When we had the conversation and we were talking about John, we were coming to the realization of knowing that each time that our soul gets here, it's going to come back in a new person, and that person may be empowered based on status quo, and it may be in oppression. It could be the oppressor or the oppressed. And then as time goes on, the next time your soul comes into to earth again, it can be reversed. Because our overall objective for our soul is to learn something in each lifetime. And so I really can't wait to go deeper into this journey. You ready? All
Yes,
right.
let's go. Let's go.
So, in this part, we're going to talk about the journey through the soul's journey through time, which was a beautiful way for us to get started. For those who may be new to this, because I know this is definitely a new thing for many people. How do you define a soul or past life regression? How is it different from the traditional talk therapy or hypnosis for trauma?
Well, a soul or a past life regression is a guided process that helps someone to access the memories that are stored beyond the current life, right? So often in the subconscious or in what we might call in the soul's record. So through deep relaxation, the client can safely explore scenes or feelings or lessons that may arise, often through insight into the present day challenges that they experience, whether it's present day challenges or relationships or patterns, right? But unlike in traditional talk therapy, which works mainly with the conscious mind through dialogue, regression goes the conscious mind, underneath the conscious thoughts, and connects with the deeper subconscious and intuitive layers. So it isn't about analyzing with the rational mind, it's more about experiencing and allowing the client's own soul wisdom to surface. Does that make sense?
It does.
hmm So while hypnosis can sometimes be used to desensitize trauma or change behaviors directly, regression has a gentler, more exploratory quality. So the intention isn't to override or suppress trauma, but to understand its roots, sometimes from this life, sometimes from other lifetimes, and to bring compassion, perspective, and healing to the story. So the difference is that in regression, the client remains empowered. They are the ones describing what they see and feel, and I'm simply guiding them through the journey. So this often brings a sense of empowerment and spiritual connection that many people find profoundly healing.
Love it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the first your conscious part of knowing that your soul exists and for the purpose. And knowing that, like, and that's I think that's the beautiful connection between you and I, because and we'll dive into that a little bit later, but I talk about the soul's belief. Every person has a soul, and that soul has had beliefs that were given to them without their knowledge.
hmm
Every single person is made of mind, body, and soul. So a lot of times when it comes into the medical the medical stance and what we've been, presented in our society, your soul isn't a part of that full healing process. And your soul, it makes up part of you. And to negate that would kind of like push you in a position where you don't get the full optimization of being healed or getting the services that you need. So by adding this extra layer gives us an extra momentum to help you become the best version of yourself in all areas of your life where you're full and where you are in full alignment to exactly what your soul was created to be here for. I love that. From your perspective, how can trauma, especially the profound trauma of events like slavery, wars, or persecutions, be carried not just through our DNA, but by the soul itself across multiple lifetimes?
Well, trauma has layers. On one level, science has shown us through epigenetics that the impact of severe experiences like slavery, war, or persecution can alter the way genes are expressed. So that means that descendants may carry physiological imprints of what their ancestors have endured. For example, like heightened stress responses, fears, or even health conditions. I mean, we see that quite often within our communities where we inherit those health health issues that are carried on from generation to generation. It's an inherited. Those are inherited traits, right? But beyond the DNA, many of us sense that the soul itself carries memory. So, in regression work, people often uncover vivid impressions that don't belong to their current life, yet they feel deeply familiar in their emotions. So, a soul can carry the echo of being silenced, or exiled, or oppressed. And those echoes can influence how someone moves through relationships, safety, or even self worth in their present life today. For example, I once guided a client who felt paralyzing fear whenever she had to speak in front of groups. And I think many of us have experienced that, right? So
Mhm.
even though she was highly competent in regression, she connected with a lifetime where she had been persecuted for her words and ultimately silenced. So, by witnessing and releasing that memory, she not only understood the origin of her fear, but she also reclaimed a sense of strength and empowerment, recognizing that her voice was never truly destroyed, right? So, in the weeks that followed after, she reported to me that she was able to speak in public with a calm sense with a calmer sense that she had ever known. So the important part is that when these memories surface, they can be met with compassion and safety. So the soul doesn't feel like so doomed to repeat the suffering over and over again. And it can transform that trauma into resilience and wisdom that can be carried forward into other lifetimes instead of being stuck in the past or in the present.
So, through even the soul, your soul can be in a position where it can be stuck because of the trauma. And the overall
Exactly.
objective is for us to continue on the cycle, knowing that even from our soul, that we can keep moving forward.
Right. And then as we remember these and as we are able to observe them from a third party perspective, we're actually observing and watching as witnesses of what the soul has experienced. We're able to look at it from a different perspective and release it when the time is right, if the soul is ready to release it. Okay. Now, if nothing is forced, only when the soul is ready, these things will happen.
I love that.
Yes.
Another question for you. What, well, I was going to say, all of this is actually in the process of uncovering the root patterns that we have innately taken in and accepted as though they are our own.
Mm-hmm.
And in a lot of regards, when I talk to people, I share with people that it is our responsibility to take back our free will. That is your soul included. And by uncovering these root patterns, it allows us the opportunity to stand up for ourselves within ourselves, to start to tear away from the things that may have been rooted deep down inside of us and pull them out. Now, what are some of the common themes or patterns you see emerge for Black and Brown clients during regression sessions that you believe are directly linked to generational or karmic cycles?
Well, certain themes come up again and again that feel deeply connected to generational and karmic cycles. One of the most common and profound struggle is the sense of belonging, right? Or the sense of being uprooted and displaced or treated as the other. So this shows up in a hesitation to take up space or in the inner conflict between wanting visibility and fearing persecution for it. We want to be seen, but at the same time, we're afraid of, of being targeted because of that because of those soul imprints that we've carried along. And another theme is survival patterns. So many carry echoes of needing to be constantly vigilant and scanning around for danger and suppressing emotions. Yes, always looking around, looking to see who looks like we do, who we can connect with to make sure that we are covered and we cover each other. Those are some of the survival themes that our community faces. So we're working twice as hard just to feel safe, essentially.
And
So
so basically, what you're saying is we're working twice as hard to feel safe, not just from our DNA, but also from our soul. Is that what you're saying?
from our soul, exactly. If we our soul has experienced those types of trauma, yes, we will carry those imprints from one life to the other as well. So we have to work twice as hard from our DNA and on our soul level to clear those imprints, so that we can heal. So this isn't only personal. It often comes back to histories of enslavement, colonization, or forced migration as well. So yeah,
Your soul matters. I'm just saying.
it's an
Just
important
saying.
part of our healing for sure. Mhm.
Can you share a powerful example maintaining confidentiality of how discovering the origin of an issue, which you kind of just mentioned, um, in a past life allowed the client to release a pattern that they have been struggling with in this lifetime?
Well, similar to the previous example, I once worked with a woman who had a deep fear of being seen. I think this is a recurring theme with us with so many women, right? So in regression, she connected to a lifetime where her village was destroyed after she spoke up against injustice. So she carried that wound into this life, shrinking herself just to stay safe. So she would not, stay avoid being seen essentially. So, but at the same time, in the same session, she also met another lifetime as a healer who carried prayers for her people in secret. Okay. So sustaining at the same time, sustaining hope when all else, you know, seemed lost within her community. So remembering both stories helped her to understand that her voice was not just a threat, right, for herself, but also medicine for herself and for others. And so afterwards, she told me that she felt freer to share her poetry in public for the first time. So
And the correlation between that is the two past lifetimes that she had gone through. And by facing that, she was able to find out why being in front of public and
Mm-hmm.
sharing knowledge, what might be that's healing and effective, would be the reason why she couldn't or she would feel a fear associated to that.
And at the same time, while she felt,
All
the
that.
grief of being persecuted for speaking up and speaking her truth, she also felt the empowerment of knowing that she had this capability of helping others and to be medicine through her own words and through her own voice. So it sort of balanced her out and it gave her a sense of, self-worth at the same time. Like, wow, look what I could do.
Look at the knowing. Look at the
Yeah.
soul's memories. And in spite of persecution, they still travailed in some way, shape, or form. And the soul still keeps or kept trying. Like you can't get no better than it. You remember when we did that? Remember when we did that one? It was Akashic Records meditation,
Yes.
and because I want to kind of touch on it, and I just remembered. Um, and we were doing my past soul life, and I was like, oh Lord, and we went to the Akashic Records,
Mm-hmm.
and I found out the reason why I'm always fighting for something.
Yes.
And
I think about that
this
often actually, and how even when you had a soft life, it still wasn't not a soft life. You were still fighting as a princess, right?
mhm.
So your soul has had that trajectory of fighting for survival throughout many lifetimes.
So a lot of the what is that? The independence, self independence, being an independent woman. I can do it by myself. And all that's the head nod, the whole nine. I mean,
Hmm.
I know that's not really what we do, but still, y'all know what I'm saying. What
Yes,
I
yes.
discovered was that the reason why I was so independent is because all of my previous lifetimes, minus a couple, I was a man who was a warrior in every single lifetime, except for when I was a princess. And even as a princess, as Rosa was saying, even as a princess, I had to fight for my own integrity because I
Hmm.
had so much value because I was a princess. Now, we'll
Hmm.
dive in a little bit more into that if y'all are more really interested. Go ahead and look below and you'll see how to subscribe. And we can tell you all about these stories. And you can definitely connect with Rosa so you can book a session with her or have a class with her, whatever she's choosing. It don't matter. Y'all be one of the first people that can get in as a group
Yes. Come on over.
and a community. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. My phone keeps sliding down. What is it doing? Anyway. Now, I want to know, can you share how does the process to help someone differentiate between their own personal trauma and something that may be inherited or an inherited burden from an ancestor or a past life?
Mm. Okay, so one of the most powerful aspects of regression is how clearly it helps people sense the difference between what is theirs and what has been carried into them. Personal trauma, for example, often feels very immediate. The client recognizes events, people, or circumstances from their own life. The emotions may be intense, but they connect directly to memories they've lived. However, inherited burdens, whether ancestral or past or from a past lives, usually have a different feel. Okay, so client will say things like, This doesn't feel like mine," or "This is heavy," or "I've felt this fear my whole life, but I don't know where it's coming from. I can't explain it." And when they enter a regression, they may suddenly see themselves in another body, another time, or even feel the presence of an ancestor whose pain they've been holding. Yes. A helpful way to picture it is like carrying a backpack. filled with stones. Okay, some stones are clearly yours. They come from experiences in this lifetime, but others were slipped in before you were even born, or from your ancestors, or from other lifetimes as well that your soul has walked. And regression allows you to open up that backpack and look at each stone and say, this one this one isn't I can work with, or this one belongs to my lineage, or this one I'm ready to put down and I can get rid of it. And I can work through this one and eliminate it from my system. So in this way, regression helps to separate what belongs to me or what belongs to the soul and what belongs to my lineage or to my ancestors. And with that
Mm.
clarity, people can choose what to carry forward and what to finally lay down.
So basically, you get empowered to make a full conscious decision.
You can actually see the whole picture. I feel that you can see the whole picture, or you can see things from a perspective, from a point of view that you were not able to see before a regression. Because now you're looking at it from a bird's eye view. You can see where these traumas, these patterns emerge from, and what you can work to eliminate as you learn about them. So it
Okay,
really is so empowering.
I love that. Okay, so the healing mechanism, which is, I think it's sliding, I think it's sliding. The healing mechanism, sorry y'all, there we go. The healing mechanism that is associated and integrated through soul regressions is apparent because it gives us an opportunity to fully look at ourselves. When we talk about self love and trusting ourselves, how can you fully trust yourself and love yourself when you don't know even the deepest part of yourself from your core? Yes, a lot of people take the whole idea of loving yourself to the point of like the facade of all of the things, like hair done, self
The
care,
image, right?
the image,
The
the
physical
aesthetics,
image,
the physical
right?
part. But self care and self love is actually something that you can do from within your soul. And I think that this is a wonderful explanation to the full self care, the real version of self care, in my opinion,
Hmm.
to get you to the point where your internal is actually external now. And not only do you see you for who you are in a
Hmm.
whole perspective, but now you're empowered to do more for yourself because now you fully understand yourself in its entirety in a lot of cases. Because when it comes down to a soul regression, what I remember Rosa telling me, she can expound a little bit on that, is that your soul will allow you to see the things that you need to know at that moment.
Exactly, exactly right. It will not force itself, your higher self will not force or push you to withstand images that you are not prepared to see. Okay? And it will not show you more than you can handle. And it will not force itself upon you. It allows you to be in control and to guide your own healing, only what you are comfortable with at the moment. And as you continue to heal, then other aspects will be revealed so that you can continue to heal those aspects that you are ready to heal at that time. So it is a very soft and soothing process. It's not where it's abrupt or traumatic. It's not a form of it's not it's again it's not a traumatic process at all. It is a very calm and easy process that is at the pace that you are able to follow at the time of your healing.
Love that. I absolutely love that. Now, what is the actual process of healing during a regression? Is it about re experiencing the trauma, or is it about bringing wisdom and light, which you just expounded on just a little bit, to that past event, or from your current empowered perspective?
Well, healing in regression is not about re-traumatizing or forcing someone to relive the pain. It's about witnessing from a safe, empowered place and allowing new light and wisdom to reach that memory. So when the client enters a regression, they may briefly touch the emotions of a past event, but they are never abandoned inside of it. They remain fully aware that they are in the present time, guided and supported by the guides, whether it's your spiritual guide or the regressionist that's helping to guide you along. Okay. And most importantly, the client is in total control of what is happening. Like sometimes when you go into a hypnosis session, it's not like you lose you know, your wits about you and you don't know what's going on. That is not how regression is. Um, the way it's usually the way the client is always in control, and the client can step back, can pull back, can go slower or pause if they desire at any time. And that choice itself is empowering and it's healing because many past wounds came from situations where the client had no control and they were forced to perform or to do certain things that they were not comfortable with. That is not what a regression is like. The client is in total control of the situation. So the healing happens when the client realizes, hey, I survived that experience. I can understand it and I can release that. It no longer I no longer need to carry that with me.
So this is you fully activating you, fully
Exactly.
activating your free will.
Exactly right. Right. No one is telling you you need to do this or that. You are guiding your own self, exercising your free will towards your own healing. And there's no better healing than that. No better healing because you take charge of your own path in your own journey. Yes.
I just felt like this light that just came all over me, and I'm like, "Woo, this is good." I'm so excited. Okay, so after a profound regression session, how do you help clients integrate insights into their present day life to ensure that healing is lasting and breaks the cycle for good?
Well, the session itself opens the door, but integration is what helps the healing stay with you in everyday life. So, and after a profound session, I guide the client to ground the insights into practical steps, which may include journaling or affirmations or meditation practices, or simply noticing when old patterns arise and choosing a new way of responding, not doing the same behaviors that have, that hasn't worked in the past, just choosing a new response, right? So I would often remind the client that healing is like planting a seed. The regression is when the seed is placed in fertile soil and a breakthrough moment. But to grow strong roots, seeds need water, sunlight, and care. So integration practices is exactly that. It's like tending that seed so that the healing can continue in their everyday life.
Love that. This is so exciting, y'all. Y'all don't know. Hey, look, let me tell y'all. When I met Rosa was in our live, and I was talking about healing generational traumas, and we'll talk about that when it's my turn to have my interview. Okay. Um, but during that time, Rosa was unsure and uncertain about how she would present herself in front of people. And so to hear her say all of the things that she's been saying about the thing that she's so passionate about, so confidently and so proudly, brings me an elaborate, intense amount of joy. because I know that this is something that she has been working on diligently, and to be able to articulate the way she's always been able to articulate what it is that she does, but to say it with full confidence is such awe-inspiring moment for me. So I'm just kind of basking in this whole entire feeling, like my Rosa,
I
who was helping me say, "Oh, asiste regressiones."
let me tell you, the person that I am today is very different than the person that I was when you and I first met.
Mhm.
And a lot of that has to do with the work that you do and the service that you have provided for me. The service that you did, right? Part of the healing that has been done through your practice has turned me around a full 180. I was struggling at work with my leadership abilities, and that has complete turned around. I'm a different person, and I think about how you have changed my life every day. And I want to tell you right here, and every chance that I get, I'm going to let you know your work is incredible, and I appreciate you, and I love you, and I thank you so much for everything that you've done.
And
And I'm gonna
see,
and
this
I'm gonna
is
keep
this
telling you
is.
this every time. You're gonna get tired of me telling you
Oh no,
this.
I'm a little tired because look, healers need healing too, and so because of that, the same feelings that you have for me are the same feelings that I have for you, because I know that if I have a soul question, if I have a complication in my life, we have worked through all of these things together, you and me,
Mhm.
all the many times that we was on here trying to share with everybody who we is, right? And like, oh, this who we is, we out here. Now come get this healing. We got you.
Yep.
And it was kind of like me having my one-on-one sessions with you, in a sense, to kind of allow me to see that I can be empowered to do this. And the reason why I don't feel fully secure is because, of this issue that's dealing with my soul, right?
Right. Right.
So the reason why I am so happy, that all of this, the Hub Summit collectively, from both Healing in Black and Soul Tribe, each and every person has helped me in a huge way. And I know that there's been a lot of integrations within our own communities, within the healers, that we've helped each other. So by creating that form of community and creating that synergy, why not express that and make it open for the world to see, and
Mhm.
so that y'all can get a part of it too. This is not just a me thing, and it's not just a Rosa thing. It's not a Healing in Black thing. It's not a Soul Tribe thing. It's not a Hub thing. It's a all of us thing. And the same wonderful feelings that we have for each other is the same wonderful feelings that I've had and that I do have with each and every last one of the practitioners that are around me. And creating this space is a reflection of my personal subconscious understanding, right?
Mhm.
This is my subconscious being played out in front of me. And because you are here in this summit and a part of this summit, you are destined to be here. We are a reflection of you subconsciously.
That's right. We're all because we attract what we are. We are magnets of each other, right? So and we all need each other because we all have different talents to contribute that become part of the whole because individually they become weakened, but when we combine them and we put them together, we gain full strength from combining our talents, and which is what you are creating here.
We are creating. here.
We are creating. Corrected. I stand corrected.
It's a we thing, my friend. It's we. Now, why is this concept of soul level healing particularly poignant,
Potent.
potent? Sorry, got it. Had to take a second. I'm glad. See, this is why we have you on there doing it with me, because your girl
I'm reading
brain
along.
and
I'm reading.
yeah, and my eyes be crossed out. That's why I got my glasses on. Why is this concept of soul level healing particularly potent for addressing the deep, often inexplicable wounds that plague our communities?
Um, Many of the wounds in our communities, whether they're fear, disconnection, cycles of oppression, can always be explained by what happened in one lifetime. Soul level healing is potent because it goes to the root beneath the root. We have our mind, our bodies, and we have our soul, which is underneath all of that, right? So when someone touches the soul's memory, they often realize, this pain didn't begin with me. But it can end with me. I don't have to continue it. So that realization itself is liberating. So I often describe it like pulling a weed. If you only trim the leaves, the weed will continue to grow.
Mhm.
So when you reach into the soil and gently remove the root, then the ground can finally be cleared and something new can grow. So essentially, that's what we're doing. We're clearing the weed from our soul so that we can emerge with new passion, with new realization, with new healing. So soul level healing allows us to do just that, to recognize the hidden roots of suffering and replace them with wisdom and compassion and resilience that ripple outward into families and communities and into future generations. Because if we heal ourselves now, our lineage also heals. And not only our lineage heals, our ancestors heal through us as well.
And our soul family.
Our soul families, yes.
Because what we've learned is through our interaction, what we have learned is your 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 physical family that you're a part of right now is different from your ancestral family that is in your DNA, which is also different from your soul's family, meaning that your soul family can also be your best friends, your lover,
Your enemy.
your enemy.
Hmm.
This is your soul's family. And even though some of us in our own blood family have not the love part, but that's a different story. But we have our best friends and our enemies within our family.
Yes.
It's different because that's a part of your blood. And when it comes down to your ancestors, when they pass, they're not a part of your soul family a lot of times. They're part of your blood family that is tied to
Hmm.
you through your DNA. And in essence, they are actually you, and you are them still walking on this earth.
Yes. Yes.
You have a different side of family. Know that. And the goal and the hope is that we are a part of your soul family. And that's something you can choose here on this earth. All you gotta do, yes, I know that information, don't come for me. All you gotta do is click right here and join our hub. Just come on in and come on, get this good. Come on, get this soul tribe. And it's Healing in Black right here, located below.
There's so much healing to be had. And it's good healing too, because it's something that we heal through learning ourselves, through knowing ourselves. And through that knowing, we become the lovers of our own selves.
Mhm.
And through the knowing and the compassion and the understanding of what our souls have experienced. And so we can see ourselves from a different perspective and have, a little bit of patience with ourselves instead of becoming frustrated with some other things that we do and that happen to us. We like, oh, this is why. And this is
Mhm.
how I can, work through that, or this is how I can accept that and it still love me as I am. And that's a huge part of the healing as well.
It's huge. All right. For some people, someone who's skeptical but curious, how would you explain the transformative potential that this work, of this work, in a grounding way or a grounded way?
Well, for someone who is skeptical but curious, I would say you don't need to believe in past lives for this work to be transformative. At its core, regression is a way of accessing the subconscious, the part of us that stores patterns, memories, and emotions outside of everyday awareness. So we don't know it's there, but it's there, right? So whether we see the images that come up as literal past lives as symbolic stories created by the mind, because sometimes we question whether, oh, am I imagining this, or is this really happening? Whatever our mind creates, or whatever we see, they often reveal truths that bring real healing, um, and the clients leave with clarity and a release or a shift in how they see themselves. So think of it like dreaming. Even if a dream is not real, it can still move you, it can still guide you and give you insights. So regression is similar in that regard. It can open a deeper layer of the psyche, and what comes through often feels more true than anything the conscious mind could have invented. So sometimes we would question, am I inventing this? Am I creating this? Is it something that I'm imagining? No, this is something that, it feels truer than anything even you can create in your own mind, because you have the emotions that come with it. If you feel those emotions as you feel that image, emotions cannot be invented, they're real. So if you're feeling those emotions as you're seeing that those images and that memory, these things did happen to you. So keep that in mind when you're having regression. Um, so that's that. Just remain curious, I would say. There's nothing more more powerful than having curiosity and an open mind.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Ah! Okay, so um, how can people experience a regression with you or learn more about your work? Now, before she answers that, I got to do my infomercial. This is just what it is. You can definitely connect with her a lot easier through our Soul Tribe. That is one of her ways that you can directly talk to her, ask her questions, and get more insight. And we're working on classes and stuff, so you can like sign up, and the idea is for you to get some type of incentive, and it will be listed right here below of the three incentives that Rosa will have specifically for you. Um, but y'all see it right here. Y'all see it right here. Now, when it comes down to getting connected to Rosa from Oasis Regressionist, because it took me a good 2 weeks to say that. Now,
Oasis Regresiones del Alma.
that Alma, I keep
Del
forgetting that part.
Alma.
That Alma, that's right. I just remember
Mhm. The
the
soul,
others.
alma, alma.
Right, right. Yo hablas, no, yo hablo
Tú,
español, más o menos. Sí, no, yo
tú sí.
hablo, hablo español, un poquito.
Así mismo.
Ajá, 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 sí, chino.
Yo sé, yo sabo, yo sabo. Yo sabo, it's like
Sí.
a silly way of saying, yo sé.
Mhm. Hold on, how I'm gonna say it? Because I gotta say it. I gotta say it. Practicar. No. How I'm gonna say this? Anyway. Yo practicar muchos más tiempo para ti poder Rosa.
Oh, girl, you
Es
speak
muy
so
importante
see, I
para
love
mí de
it.
hablar de español.
I love it. Me encanta cómo tú hablas tu español. Me encanta. I love it.
Sí. No conoce, yo conoce.
Tú sabes, tú sabes. Yo sé, tú sabes, tú sabes.
See? I be knowing a little bit. So a lot of this is geared for you. Um, when I say this is a representation for the Black and Brown community, this is not limited to just Black and Brown people. But we also understand that the reality is that we have been the ones that's been the most oppressed in this society. And as we have learned, and when you see our practitioners from overseas, this is something that is universal across the world. So by creating this, we are creating a space where even the people you don't think can speak a little son, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
All of us have special gifts where we can help you dive into the life and the experiences that you are looking for. We have people that speak Spanish, French, one person that speaks seven different languages.
Well,
Seven.
God bless. Beautiful.
Seven. And it's beautiful
Imagine.
because it allows us to be able to interact with each other freely. And that's what we're creating here. So, with that being said, Miss Rosa, I had to show them my skills. I had to show them my skills. How can people connect with you, my love?
Well, to learn more about my work and to connect, whether it's past life regressions or guided meditations or soul healing programs, people can visit my website at oasis.com, or they can connect with me at Oasis Regressions on YouTube or TikTok. And I always encourage people to come with curiosity and an open heart, because you don't have to believe in anything beforehand. You just be willing to explore. And the experience itself is often the most convincing teacher. And that's that.
I love that. Any final words, Miss Rosa?
Well, just stay curious. Just stay curious and open-hearted, and just be willing to learn and to be blown away by the mysteries of life, because there's so many, so many.
The magic. Because life is abracadabra. Now that you guys are here, another person made mention of that. If you can tell me, I'm going to give away two free 1 year subscriptions to Healing in Black and Soul Tribe. If you can tell me, and it's going to be first come, first serve, if you can tell me who mentioned abracadabra outside of me, there's a challenge. With that being
You
said,
you mean within this conversation?
mm-mm,
Oh, okay.
within the other practitioners, it's
Okay,
like a
okay.
scavenger hunt.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to go watch now.
That's the goal. If you can find out who that is, let me know. And it's the first come, first serve. So the very first two people that can let me know who said abracadabra. So it's me, and then you got to find the next person. That's on you. Okay?
Sounds like a fun challenge to me.
Yes. With that being said, that is our final question, and this is our final moment with Miss Rosa from Oasis Regressionist de Alma,
Alma. Yes.
Oasis Regressions. And I would love for you guys to make sure you subscribe and be a part of what we have going on in this community. Thank you so much, Rosa, for being here yet again. And
Thank
thank
you so
you,
much for
thank you,
having me.
Hub. Of course, baby. And thank you, Hub Summit, for being here with us and sharing even more with another practitioner. Make sure you stay locked in for the very next one that's available to you.